Our highest viewed post was only 1,311 views, yet those 10 sessions should bring us a minimum of $25,000 with our sales average of $2,500. Hey Boudoir photographers, are you ready to be totally booked out with high-paying clients? I'm Tracy Lynn, and I went from side hustle photographer to running a $1 million boudoir photography business, working just 30 hours a month. That's right, just 30 hours a month. On this podcast, I tell you how I did it and how you can too. Hey there, and welcome back. We're diving into a topic that's on every photographer's mind. Do you need to go viral to book out your schedule? It's easy to get swept up in that chase for virality, believing that one viral post could skyrocket your business. But is that really the case? Today we're going to talk about why those vanity metrics don't necessarily translate to bookings and income, and share real-life experiences and strategies to help you build a sustainable business without the pressure of going viral. So let's get started. I do want to start with the basics, like understanding vanity metrics versus business metrics. These are not fun things to talk about, but I do think they're necessary. Vanity metrics are those numbers that look impressive on the surface, like views, comments, saves, followers. They often get a lot of attention because they're easy to see and understand, but do they really matter? As of the date that we're recording this, our Instagram following is just over 7,300. In the past 15 days, we photographed 10 sessions. According to our analytics, we reached 2,535 accounts, and we engaged with just 122 accounts during that period. Our highest viewed post was only 1,311 views, yet those 10 sessions should bring us a minimum of $25,000 with our sales average of $2,500. But honestly, it'll probably bring in more. High engagement and a large follower account does not translate bookings to or income. Our income is solid because of business metrics, not vanity metrics. So let's start out with answering the question, what are these business metrics? Business metrics are quantifiable measures that directly reflect the performance and health of a business. They're often tied to financial performance, customer behavior, and operational efficiency. That word was hard for me, but you know what I mean. Some important business metrics include revenue. That's the total income generated from sales of goods or services. Profit margin, the percentage of revenue that exceeds the cost of production, like your gross profit or total expenses, net profit. Customer acquisition cost, or CAC, that's the total cost of acquiring a new customer, including marketing and sales expenses. Customer lifetime value, CLV, or it could be LTV. The total revenue a business can reasonably expect from one customer account throughout their relationship. The conversion rate is the percentage of users who take a desired action, like booking a session or making a purchase, out of the total number of visitors. Your client retention rate is the percentage of clients who return to do business with you again. Your average sale value, the average amount of revenue generated per transaction. And booking or sales volume, the total number of sessions booked. The lead generation, the number of potential customers who have expressed interest in your business and are in your sales funnel. And your ROI, or return on investment, the profitability ratio that measures the gain or loss generated on an investment relative to the amount of money invested. I know those were a lot of super fun different types of business metrics, but they are important, and I would say the ones that are the most important for us as photographers are revenue, profit margin. I would say customer acquisition cost is very important. I don't think your customer lifetime value is as important as a boudoir photographer, but as a photographer, I do think that could be more important. Conversion rates are very important. Your retention rate, that's the amount of clients who actually return. As a boudoir photographer, I would say we're going to have fewer that come back over and over again, but I do think that people are being more open to doing a boudoir session more than once in their life, so that could be going up. Average sale, super important. Your booking volume, super important. Lead generation and ROI, very important. So the difference between business metrics that actually matter and vanity metrics are business metrics are directly tied to financial outcomes and the overall health of the business, whereas vanity metrics aren't. Business metrics provide actionable insights that can help you make decisions that actually matter, while vanity metrics often don't. Business metrics measure real performance and impact, such as revenue and customer retention, while vanity metrics measure superficial aspects like popularity and reach. One thing that I want to talk about is one of my photographers, she's a private coaching client. She told me that she felt like her audience was super cold. We went to her insights and analytics on the things in her business that matter, like email stats and her Facebook group stats. We looked at those things and we actually found that her audience is very hot. So we didn't need to change the way we were going to run her upcoming sale. That's what we were focusing on at this point. But because we could tell by her metrics that her actual audience is hot, we didn't need to change anything. But she was in like a very panic mode, wondering if she was actually going to book sessions. So she was starting to panic, and once we looked at the data, she calmed down, and we're just going to proceed the way we had planned already. So let's look back at our stats. Our total revenue from the 10 sessions should be minimum $25,000. At the time of this recording, we haven't actually done all the viewings yet, or we'd give you exact numbers. While 7,300 followers looks decent, like it looks like a healthy Instagram, it doesn't directly indicate how many of those followers are booking sessions or contributing to our actual revenue. When you focus on business metrics over vanity metrics, you're going to see a clearer picture of your company's performance, and that will help you make data-driven decisions to grow your business effectively. Now let's talk about a perspective on engagement and reach and the role of social media in marketing. I want to dive deeper into understanding social media reach and its real impact. So think about this. If 2,535 people visited your studio over 2 weeks, you're going to be thrilled, right? So why aren't we thrilled when 2,535 people view our brand online? It's all about perspective. Each and every view is a potential client getting familiar with your brand who might book a session or share with someone who actually books eventually. Social media is so powerful. It's a tool for visibility, but it's just one small piece of the puzzle. It's important to shift our perspective and recognize that those views are very valuable, even when the numbers aren't as high as we wish that they were. Remember, people might first learn about you through a platform like Instagram, so you definitely need to have a presence there. And by posting great content regularly, you nurture those potential clients, guiding them down your funnel until they convert into actual clients. But remember, social media is not your entire marketing plan. If you want more information on every aspect you need for your marketing plan, though, make sure you check out episode 99 of the podcast, and I lay out our entire marketing strategy for TK Boudoir. So now I want to switch gears and talk about the importance of consistency, which is something that I see a lot of photographers struggle with, especially on social media. Some of my coaching clients, that is our literal focus for 2 to 3 calls of our time coaching together. Since our Instagram marketing is really about introducing people to our brand and nurturing them until they become a client, consistent messaging and a very regular posting schedule is so important. This consistency helps build the know, like, and trust factor with your audience. So let's talk about some tips to stay consistent. There are 2 things that we specifically do for our Instagram marketing strategy. The first one is to keep a content calendar going so that we can plan posts in advance. With TK Boudoir, we've been able to create a strategy to plan 3 months of content in an hour, super smoothly and seamlessly. And that, by the way, is what we have coming up in our content planning masterclass. I'm going to link that in the show notes, but I also will talk about it more at the end of the episode. The second thing we do is regularly check analytics to adjust our content strategy. When things perform well, we like to lean into those posts and recreate them with similar content. When things don't perform well, we try something new. Sure, we've had some posts that do better than others, but guess what? That's not what brought us new boudoir clients. I've recently had 3 reels go viral on my It's Tracy Lynn Instagram, and while that's not boudoir photography related, I still want to talk about it right now. 2 of the 3 that went viral were directed towards my ideal client and they were shown to the types of accounts that I would definitely want to follow me and eventually buy from me. Like, those are my ideal people. The third one that went viral was shown to my ideal client for about the first, maybe like 300,000 accounts. But these last 450 accounts that it's been shown to have just been creepy men who were honestly degrading both me and my model in this reel. So while I appreciate that I've gone viral, from here on out, I'm more focused on the actual content that's going to bring in just my ideal client. I do not care at all how many followers I have or how many views my reels get. I only care about being seen by the right profiles who need what I'm offering, you know? And by the way, it took 4 years of consistent posting on my education brand without ever going viral to understand what would help me go viral. In the meantime, I had been building a thriving business because I was focused on my ideal client and I knew who I could help. That's the only person I was focused on. This consistent effort was far more reliable than waiting for a viral moment. Now let's get into some actionable steps that you can take to improve your marketing efforts. Now, I call this my attract method, and it's the ability to know who you're speaking to and use your marketing to get in front of them and activate them to go ahead and book a session. So the first thing is the seed. This is the core of why someone is investing with you, why they're booking a session with you. And the most important part of this is you need to know your ideal client. Now, before we get into the next two stages, I want you to know that the ideal client is like literally the core of booking sessions. Like, you have got to know the seed, the core of why someone would want to book a session with you, how to attract them, what they need to know in order to go ahead and book a session, where they're hanging out, what they do for a living. You need to know your ideal client so well that you can easily get in front of them without even thinking about it. And then you just relate to them so well. Even if they're not like you, you're still going to relate to them so well. And then I want to talk about the next step, which is what I call my pillar pages. And these are the 5 website pages that you have to have for your website in order to actually book sessions. So the thing is, like, I have created my high converting website strategy. There are 5 pages that you need. You need your home page, your about page, your investment page, your gallery page, very specific ways on your gallery page to actually book sessions, and then of course your contact page, because they need to be able to contact you really quickly, right? So with your high converting website, what you're doing is answering every question that your ideal client might have. This is why it's important to know what your ideal client needs and wants to know before they book a session. So for example, like, let's say that your ideal client is a bride. They're the easiest to book with Boudoir, right? So your ideal client is a bride. On your website, you are talking about bridal boudoir all the way throughout the page. You're talking about why they need it, why it's important, like how great they're going to feel after, how great and confident they're going to feel at their wedding. Like, all the things, you are focused on those things so that they can understand and feel like you're talking straight to them about why they need a book, so that by the time they get through your website, they're like, I need to book with this photographer. This photographer is speaking my language. She's speaking directly to me. So now we know who your ideal client is, and we have your website done. Those 2 things are the most important parts of your entire attraction plan in your marketing strategy. So now we need to talk about the 5 paths of traffic, because at this point we're really focused on visibility. We just want as many eyeballs to get to your website as possible. So we're talking visibility here, because if we can get them to your website, we've already built your website to be high converting. So as long as we can get them to your website, we know they're going to book. So your 5 paths of traffic is pretty much visibility. So we have social media, SEO or search engine optimization, email marketing, referrals, and events. With those things, our goal is to get in front of as many people as possible. Some of you may have heard me say this before, but it takes 1,000 views on your website to book just 10 clients a month. So if your goal is to book 10 clients per month, we need to be getting 1,000 views to your website minimum per month. So all of these things, your social media, SEO, email marketing, referrals, events, all of that is to drive traffic to your website so that you can go ahead and book the amount of sessions that you need. And that is the entire strategy. We just need to know your ideal client, build a high converting website, and then get in front of as many eyeballs as possible so that we can book the amount of sessions that you need. If you only get one thing from this episode, I want you to remember that vanity metrics are insignificant compared to real business metrics. Consistency in your messaging and posting schedule is the most important thing that you can do. Remember, virality, it's not necessary. You can book out your schedule without virality. Evaluate your own marketing strategies and focus on what really brings business success in your own business. And I mentioned it earlier, but we have a masterclass coming up that you're not going to want to miss. It's jam-packed with extremely actionable strategy. We're calling it the Easy Instagram Content Creation Masterclass. And during the class, you're going to learn the strategy to book out your boudoir photography schedule with easy content that will prime your audience and increase your sales. We are not worried about virality. Don't forget that part. We're going to help you plan content that's going to convert your ideal client, your audience, into the most amazing clients who want to spend money with you. It's just $47, and I will go ahead and link that in the show notes. Thank you for listening to this episode of Sustainable Freedom with Boudoir Photography. Please be sure to rate and follow so that you never miss an episode. They drop every Thursday and they're always full of super actionable information for you to apply right now in your boudoir business. Until then, make your next shoot your best shoot.